I did have to help you up the stairs.
You did have. You did have to come and meet me downstairs. I'm glad we segued into that pretty quick. Let's get off the Keith, not making it to the gym, and let's get to the cripple.
I love to deflect when I'm feeling attacked.
It is your superpower.
Yep.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Overlap Podcast, where we discuss and study the overlaps between work, fitness, family, faith, parenting, and leadership. With the idea that becoming better in one aspect of your life helps you become better in all aspects of life. And we do this by simplifying big business brilliance for small business leaders. What a statement that is. And the whole podcast was really kind of built around the idea that those of us working in leadership in small business and really kind of the backbone of the economy throughout America has, in the podcast world, been overlooked, I think. Everything's kind of big business. Everything's big concept. Everything is, 17 steps in a binder that sits on a shelf that, aren't really actionable items. And so we thought that, we could build a better podcast for our listeners to have some inspiration, some insights, and some education on their lives in business. And through that lens, hopefully help all of you become better in all the other aspects of your life. And really shining a light, on the fact that, getting better, healthier, more physically fit is going to help you at work. Becoming a better manager and working on that helps you become a better parent. Being more disciplined with your budget at home probably helps you become more disciplined with your budget at work, and vice versa. And so there's the idea behind the podcast. And we're happy you're listening. And where are we at? 151 now.
151.
Good times.
Good times. It's been good.
It's been real. So, how you been, Keith?
I've been very good.
Good.
Busy, but good.
Yeah. My favorite question when people say they're busy is, are you being productive?
I've had a lot of activity. Let's say that. I just don't know that it's been productive.
I will say this. I've known you now for 7-8 years, something like that.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So, and you are by far the busiest I've ever seen you right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's all good stuff.
There was a long period of time in my life that I didn't go almost one day without seeing you or talking to you.
I know it.
And now it's like I don't see you for weeks at a time.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's been, and that's another thing I probably need to make a priority to get in the gym more.
Yeah.
This is really the first time in a long, long time that I have not had time or not prioritized every day getting in the gym.
Yeah. If we weren't on a podcast, I would obviously give you more crap and rub your nose in it. But since we're on a podcast and we want to be helpful to others, I'll say, man, there really are just seasons in life. There really are. There's waves of work, and sometimes it's coming in and crashing down on you, and sometimes it's receding and it's all nice and calm. And I think there's just waves, and you're probably just riding one of those waves.
Yeah, no, like the wave of I did have to help you up the stairs.
You did have. You did have to come and meet me downstairs. I'm glad we segued into that pretty quick. Let's get off the Keith, not making it to the gym, and let's get to the cripple.
I love to deflect when I'm feeling attacked.
It is your superpower.
Yep.
You go ahead. So lay it on me.
Dude, seeing you right now with the sling on.
Oh yeah, it's a hell of a contraption I got on here.
However, the story you had about almost passing out made me feel better today.
Yeah. So, listeners, what Keith is describing, since we're not on video yet. That's okay. That's probably good. We got faces for radio. I had rotator cuff surgery, and can confirm that it is not a pleasant experience. The surgery itself, no problem. Went in, They did whatever pre-op stuff. Didn't take too much time. Everyone was super professional. I went to the Andrews Institute, which, holy crap,
that's legit.
So if you're a business operator or leader or owner in any sort of capacity, you're probably maybe you look at things like I do. Every time I'm in something like that, I'm always let's see, not judging. That's the only word. I'm grading the experience, and trying to figure out how did they get this all together. It was a seamless function of activity, like just not function, but like a schedule. You come in, you fill out this paperwork. Wasn't too much, but it was enough to kind of answer all their questions, I think. And it was a pretty decent experience. It wasn't like, here, fill all this out. Almost immediately, which I thought was amazing in the medical world. Once I finished that, they took me back. Then I met one nurse, and she did one specific thing, explained what she was going to do, and then told me the next people that would be there. The next person showed up in like 1 minute later, and they brought all their tools in and explained what they were doing. And then there were double, triple, and quadruple checking which arm they were going to operate on, marked it. Doctor came in and made sure everyone was doing their work. The anesthesiologist came in and explained everything and what to expect during and after, and then for the next 3 or 4 days and all that stuff. And the next thing I knew, I was falling asleep. And then I woke up and they're putting the sling on me and I'm riding home.
Very rarely do you hear raving reviews about medical systems.
Dude, this was the most legit organization I've ever. It was close to Disney level.
But if you look at the Andrews Institute, they work on you and really great athletes.
Yes. Everywhere you look, it's a professional baseball player, football player, swimmer, gymnasts. Every single room has no less than 4 like signed jerseys or photos.
Did they take your picture?
They did. I actually not do that. I don't, I don't know that they've heard about the master's level of jiu-jitsu that I've achieved. But I'm sure they'll call me later.
They're going to want you to send one over.
Yeah.
To put right by Bo Jackson.
Rotator cuff surgery. It was, hey, listen, if you're listening to this and you hear, oh, Sid had rotator cuff surgery, you're probably going, oh yeah, it's probably all that CrossFit and jiu-jitsu. I would say maybe that didn't help, but I will say that it was a pre-existing condition. We're not going to go into that story because I was young and dumb and never really addressed it, and then just went real hard, for the next 15 years, and it finally gave way. So had to do something about it.
But isn't that amazing how they can tell that the injury came from
a long time ago? Yeah.
They did that with me when I went in for my back.
Well, I had like all these like bone spurs or something. That was really kind of the key issue, and I guess the key indicator. I don't know. It's crazy, man. That whole medical field is. I don't want to like it, with got some issues there, but in general, man, what a fantastic science all of that is. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think the technology's there really fascinating when used properly, and that's the term.
Speaking of technology. I got home. I didn't realize this until a couple of days later. They had photos from them doing the surgery. They got a little camera. They feed that in. And then they've got you didn't see it, but there's like 4 or 5 little incisions where they've got, I don't know if it was robotic or what, but they've got these little arms. And you can see, oh, here's some clean tendons. Oh, there's some bone. Here's some muscle. You kind of see that. And then then you see a photo that looks like just torn up, pulled apart cotton, and you go, oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Then you see other photos of them sewing that stuff together and then pulling it across and anchoring it into a bone and then pulling another piece across and anchoring it to another bone. I was like, man, my stomach hurt just looking at it.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was pretty cool that they could take photos inside your body.
Yeah, what was cool when I separated my shoulder is you think there's a lot more bone structure there.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of tendons.
Yeah, a bunch
that
of
they
tendons.
have to just, like, it's really rubber bands holding your whole shoulder together.
Yeah.
And when one of those gets whacked,
no
that's
bueno.
where it goes bad.
No bueno. So what have you been up to? You've been so busy. What have you been up to?
We're launching a product. We are.
Is this Grace
book.
Publishing?
This is book. Yep. We revamped the website in that time.
For the book?
For just Back Porch Productions all the way around.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of government work at Hatch,
Okay.
And all of that's going great. We're in the process of the renovation and of the building and meeting with architects and data guys and tech guys and all that kind of stuff, getting that ready and getting the bids ready and all of that stuff to be able to kind of do that. So it's just been a very busy time.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you?
Well, so we ended quarter three. So then there was some, breakdown of quarter three. And then as we go into quarter four, it's always it's always busy. And it used to kind of drive me crazy. Like my family would be like, oh, bet you're, it'd get to be October and November. I bet you're glad that it's gotten cool. The grass ain't growing. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it is way busier right now. So what we're doing is, this is kind of our process is sort of break down. We just get a list of all the jobs we had done in project work and then start trying to go through the aspect of trying to sort those out. And sometimes they sort out pretty easy. Like, oh, these are all hardscape jobs. These are all sod jobs. These are all irrigation jobs. These are ones with irrigation and planting. These are ones with just hardscape and lighting. You try to start breaking that stuff down and figuring out, what are you doing well at? What are you not? And you start building training modules and things out of that. But at the same time,
I was gonna say the thinking about doing the work actually makes me feel busier than, like you said, in the summer where you're
when you're just executing.
When you're just executing,
yeah, because you don't have to think as much. You're just
you
doing
just do
the thing. Yeah,
right.
And you feel productive when you're doing that.
Correct. I do.
Yeah, because I think there's more of a tangible, easy, feedback loop right there. But the thinking about it just kind of wears you out,
And maybe that's what I was trying to verbalize when I said I'm busy, is that it's been a lot of calculation.
A lot of thinking,
which I struggle at.
Well, and this is where we're going to get at in this podcast. This is probably the best way to segue into this, is that there are tools out there to help you think.
There is.
And so just regarding AI, and I don't know that you can have a podcast without discussing AI at least once every podcast. The podcast sphere might kick us off if we don't stick with the trend.
A couple shows ago, we had like an expert on.
Oh, yeah. Dom was great.
Man, but.
Yeah, that was 148, right? Yep.
Yeah, I believe so.
Double checking. Yes.
Yep.
Dom with Port City AI.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working with us too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got some exciting stuff.
And he's working with me. He and I are doing a new project.
And he did something with the Overlap website, right?
Yeah, he did. And you can go check that out now.
Yeah.
You can go talk to Sid and I in virtual form.
Yeah. And it does, man. He uploaded all
150 plus shows.
Yeah. And so if you ask a question, it should generate an answer based off of, what we would normally say.
Yeah. You can say, what does Sid think about numbers? You can say, what does Keith think about, tech, or what do they both think about their wives? It'll tell you. Hey guys, I want to tell you about my friend Wes Cody. He's the president of C2 Wealth Strategies, a financial advisory firm dedicated to providing personalized solutions for your financial needs. Wes and his team of professionals are passionate about helping clients create wealth and achieve financial freedom. At C2 Wealth Strategies, they believe in taking a holistic approach to financial planning and are committed to building long-lasting relationships with their clients, ensuring their financial well-being every step of the way. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Contact Wes and C2 Wealth today at c2wealth.com to schedule a consultation. Let Wes and his team help you build your financial future.
I want to take a moment to talk about someone who's been instrumental in my personal and business success. That's Johnny Barranco and his team at Barranco & Associates. For over 7 years, Johnny has been my go-to accountant and financial consultant. I can tell you that he's more than just a tax preparer. Johnny takes a holistic approach to all my financial dealings, aligning them with my long-term plans and personal lifestyle. I've recommended Johnny to several friends throughout different business groups around the country, and the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional. His expertise and service are top-notch. So if you're looking for someone who not only prepares your taxes, but also helps you strategize for the future, Johnny and his team at Barranco & Associates are the ones to call. Trust me, you won't regret it. So contact Johnny Barranco today and take the first steps towards financial peace. You're not going to regret this. So how are you using AI here recently? This is where we were kind of having a little chat earlier.
So I think we've talked about this before, but I really wanted that blue check on X.
Oh,
and so
have you? I mean, you okay?
Yeah. So like I look really legit on X.
Do you
now,
have a blue check?
Yeah, but all you have to do is pay for it.
Oh,
but when you pay for it, you get their large language model. You get Grok.
Okay.
And so if you have the paid for account on X now, you get Elon's LLM. And if you don't know what
I've heard good stuff from that about that one. But go ahead.
So an LLM is a large language model.
Yeah.
So most people would know ChatGPT. Right. So Elon Musk did one called Grok. Mm-hmm. And he now has incorporated that to X.
Okay.
And so if you pay for the check mark on X, you get Grok automatically. And so I didn't want to pay for ChatGPT and Grok and, X. Mm-hmm. So I just paid the X and I get the technology, right? Okay. And so that's what I use. And so for general stuff, that's kind of what I do, what I'm using to do all the stuff I do with AI. Ask it questions, ask it to give me data, ask it to create, spreadsheets and all that good stuff.
Okay. So Grok will do spreadsheets.
It will not do spreadsheets, but it will give you the data for the spreadsheet. I still have to go to the free version of ChatGPT to generate. One of the cool things that ChatGPT just did is integrate even in the free version where it will spit out a document. So you can go create an Excel document in ChatGPT with the data that you get from somewhere else.
Okay.
And so because I don't pay for ChatGPT, the data that comes out of Grok is much better and more advanced right now because ChatGPT don't really give you all the advanced features unless you pay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've heard, and I think it was Dom that says he uses Grok to write because it sounds better. Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound as robotic.
No, Dom uses Claude to write.
Claude.
So Claude is not. So there's different types of LLMs. There's LLMs that are large language models that are connected to the internet that you can say, hey, go look on this website and pull this data. Well, Claude they call themselves the ethical AI.
Yeah.
And so they don't tie to the web so much. And so if you want something that is tied to the web or getting information from websites, you can't use Claude.
Okay.
But if you want something that is that sentence structure and grammar and that kind of stuff sounds more natural, that is Claude. So what I do is I go scrape what I need from using Grok or ChatGPT and then put it in Claude and it makes it pretty.
Okay.
So it makes it flow more human.
Okay.
Because one of the problems with AI, quite frankly, is that it still doesn't sound human all the time.
You can, if you're playing in the AI sandbox, you can really kind of see when people are using it.
Correct.
Yeah. I get that. And so Claude is a way to sort of make it a little more humanized, make it a little more palatable. Gotcha.
It is. And I will tell you, though, that I love Grok. I love ChatGPT. I love what all that's doing. But there's a new tool that I'm using for my calendar that is, in the 2 weeks that I've been using it, has changed my, when I say this, it's probably the most revolutionary tool that I've ever implemented in business for me.
Okay, what is that?
And it's called Motion.
Motion.
And
Making a note.
it is a calendar task tool that uses time blocks.
Okay.
Are you familiar with time blocking?
Oh, yeah, dude. Have you not? Yeah.
I mean,
you've seen my calendar?
You use the Michael Hyatt calendar, and so it kind of teaches you, or the Michael Hyatt.
But before I even did that, like we did, like I had a consultant, maybe 15 years ago. It was like, man, we got to do these things in blocks of time, and we would have different colors. So even my calendar now is in different blocks of time. Yeah. Well, I'm not pulling it up now. Okay.
But
go ahead.
This uses AI to optimize your daily time, and it does it in a way like no calendar I've ever seen.
Okay. Is Motion free? First step.
No, it is. Okay. Motion is not free.
And how much is that?
However, I will tell you, from the first week of using it, I save more money than it cost a year.
Okay. What does it cost a year?
$300 a year.
$300 a year. Okay.
It optimized my time in a way that I could have never done on my own.
Okay.
And I know this sounds overselling.
It does a little. Sounds hyperbolic, but let's go.
And I'm not getting paid for this. So I'm in Motion. If you'd like to pay, I will take payment.
Yeah.
But and maybe this is just the first time I've really thought about time blocking.
Okay.
I mean, I called myself time blocking before, but I never truly understood it.
Oh, okay.
And this kind of teaches me, you know how I told you that 90 taught me EOS? This is kind of teaching me the process of time blocking.
Okay. Motion. I don't know that I've heard of that.
Yeah,
one.
Super cool. A good friend of mine told me about it, and then I started looking at it. We were on a trip last week, and I started looking at it, and I implemented it, and immediately, first day, saw benefit.
Just making a note. Okay. Well, so
you always look. People always ask me about AI, and they say, well, what does it do for you? And I always say that it saves you time.
It does.
Right? But this is really the first technology or AI agent that I can point to and say, okay, I see the time it's saving me. Like when you do a document, you're like, does it really save me time? And then I can answer that, definitely yes.
Yeah.
But like this, it's a time management software, so it's actually showing me it's
the first
time.
AI to actually be designed to save you time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then using your day-to-day activities to do it and optimizing it in a way that is way better than you can optimize it yourself.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah.
That's pretty legit. So I've been, I have been on full throttle on the AI game for a while too. I mean, you and I have been going back and forth on this for probably a year now, but really turned up the juice in the last 4 months, probably, since the summer. And I've got the paid version of ChatGPT, and what it does is, I'm just going to open this up. What it does is it sort of gives you access to all these other ChatGPT apps. Well, number one, what I've gotten in the habit of doing, and this is really, if you're going to mess with AI, I think what you have to start doing is getting into the habit of using it often to start figuring out how do you prompt it and how do you use it. So, for instance, I had an EOS sales quarterly on Tuesday. And I was thinking about it on Sunday and just decided to ask ChatGPT, how should I best prepare for this. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just a great checklist for me to go through, and then got me to think about, okay, it was something like prepare documents, blah, 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 get your information that you want to get across, make sure it's in a, I'm paraphrasing, but in a format that they can easily understand, know your audience, who you're speaking to, and all this. And it really it helped me think through it. Right. So then I was thinking about who my audience was. It's a bunch of salespeople. Salespeople have very limited, they don't want to be in a 7-hour meeting anyway.
Let's just say it. Most salespeople are ADD.
Well, some of them, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But they're used to getting up and getting out and interacting with clients and just making a deal, right? Or working on the deal or whatever. Maybe it's ADD, but they're hunters for the most part, and getting them to sit around. Yeah. So I took all the sales data and used ChatGPT to take that data from just raw data and had it graph it out for me. Now, I will say, had I just done it on my own, I probably it wouldn't have saved me that much time, if any, but I got better at prompting ChatGPT. They've got a tool called Data Analyst too, that it will take that data and put it in a pretty cool graph for you. Then it puts it in a PowerPoint. I think I've got that PowerPoint. And I could show you that. But then, and it went through and it made a bunch of data into about 10 slides that I could go through in about 15 minutes. And everyone had all the information that they needed without sorting through a bunch of numbers, graphs and pie charts and, line graphs and everything else. Really made that flow really smooth for that sales team. And that was all AI, which I was like, man, that's fantastic. As we're moving forward with our planning process, I'm asking questions like, what is the potential market for this industry in these counties? If our target market is this type of person in this area with this type of income and this type of property, how many of those are actually available out there? Like, that's just information you'd have to hire some sort of firm 5 years ago and spend $25,000, and you're getting, I don't know the quality of the information from that, but it's a heck of a lot better than me just guessing at it, and I'm just taking some of that information down and using some of that to sort of forecast out, when you're looking at your 5-year plan, 10-year, whatever, just trying to think about the market and how do we address it, and how do we gain market share? What's possible? Also asking questions like, hey, after an election, the first year after, you hear a bunch of stories, with disparate information. Sometimes some people are saying, oh, it always bounces big. And then some people are like, no, it actually goes down for 6 months. And so I'm just asking ChatGPT and pull all the information you can and give me the best averages. Getting information like that. It just helps you think through things. If you learn to ask good questions, you'll start getting really good information back. It does cite most of those sources, when it'll have like a blue little clickable link. So if you've got some questions on the information that they give you, which I've been pretty good about making sure that I ask questions. I'm trying to look for some of those for you, but right there, you can click on these clickable links. Well, not that one, but it'll send you to where they're getting that information from, and you can go, okay, do I want to read, the full article from payscale.com,
Well, and tip here, if it doesn't give you the source, you can always ask it for it.
Yeah.
So if it gives you a search, you can say, can you please identify the source?
Yeah.
And it'll give you that. We're working on budgets, 2025 budgets right now. And one of the things that I've done recently is place my numbers into Grok or ChatGPT and ask what I'm missing
Oh, that's a good one.
And the
Helps
categories,
you think. Yeah.
it absolutely helps you think. What number am I not accounting for that I need to?
Mm.
And it was very good at analyzing what I was missing, because I was doing a specific marketing budget, and I said, what do I need to account for in a marketing budget when it comes to running digital ads?
Mm.
And it gave me great source materials.
That's fantastic.
Yep. And then I said, take my numbers. This is the money that I'm allocating. Create me an Excel document so that I can send it to my team.
Okay. And he gave you an Excel document.
It gave me an Excel document.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. You can't beat that. Now, I had to go in and tweak it because it jacked some stuff up. But to sit down and create an Excel document for a specific budget would have taken me at least an hour.
Yeah.
And it did it in 15 minutes. I mean, it did it in less than 15 minutes. And then I spent about 10 just rearranging the data like I wanted.
Yeah, to make it look the way you want.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to a friend and sponsor of ours, Chris Drogmiller from CMD Fencing. Let me tell you, I've had the pleasure of working with Chris personally over the last 3 or 4 years, and I've never encountered a fence contractor who excels in communication, craftsmanship, and timeliness like he does. Chris always delivers. I mean it. Fair prices, top-notch work, always on budget, and the best part for me, always on time. So if you're in need of a fence company to help you with a fence or any other outdoor wooden structure, give Chris a call. You won't be disappointed. Get in touch with Chris and let him and his team take care of all your fencing needs. CMD Fencing.
I want to tell you about one of our newest sponsors, Red Branch Outdoor Living. They create environments to bring people together by providing a turnkey solution for outdoor living with remarkable customer experience. They specialize in outdoor kitchens, pavilions, patios, pools, spas, and fire features. And they do it with integrity, innovation, and being remarkable. They did my outdoor space, and it turned out amazing. Check them out at redbranchconstruction.com.
Dude, I think it's legit. I don't have any fears that AI is going to rule the world one day. Maybe I'm naive. I don't know. But all I do know is right now it's helping me think through things. And I'll say this. I like new tools, you know?
I do too. I'm a quick adopter to new tools.
Me too. It makes me excited to kind of use things. I get fired up about work, you know, and I'll sit and, you ever had anesthesia?
No, never.
How about that for a segue? So the first day, I was like, you know, after the little bit of high wore off, you know, I get home and I just felt great. I went on a walk, in my brace here, and like it was a beautiful weekend. Friday did not go to work, so I got surgery on Thursday. Went for a walk. Really started thinking about work that afternoon. And then Friday, I cranked out a ton of work. Saturday, refined that work. Sunday, had a fantastic plan for Q4. And then all this week, I've been kind of implementing that work that ChatGPT and anesthesia helped me get, pull together. So anesthesia, what I was saying, and I thought I was just like inspired. And then I think Ashley was like, "Oh yeah, you'll be on cloud 9 for a day or two." And I was like, "Oh, that must have been what that was," because I thought I was just inspired.
Didn't you try to do pull-ups 2 days after?
No, all I did was just hang from the bar.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hang from the bar. It was like stretching.
Yeah,
it was kind of nice. I did try to do a one-handed pull-up, but what I have to do is make sure that I'm not using this arm. And I couldn't like pull up without.
You still got to shrug the shoulder.
Without inadvertently do that. And I was like, I better not do that. So, but I've been on the bike a lot.
I saw that
a bunch
this morning.
Today. Jeez, GHDs. I can do those.
Can you?
Yeah, because I can just relax that arm and I can just keep it in the sling and boom, we just lay back, hit that one hand to the ground and come back up.
Wow, that's
And
impressive.
then lots of the like leg press, hamstring curls. Have you ever done that machine? We've done that machine.
Yes.
It kills me. I feel like my hamstrings are going to snap.
Yeah.
It's bad. I thought I was going to cramp all day.
Yeah, I have a lot of not working out guilt right now.
Don't worry. It just goes through phases.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu's like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, y'all, if your love language is not touch, then you probably won't like or appreciate jiu-jitsu. But if your love language is touch, and I think that I don't have any other love language other than touch, I start getting weirded out, feeling like separated from the world when I haven't trained jiu-jitsu in probably 2 weeks now. It's I was like, oh man, why am I feeling lonely? You know, I haven't hugged on Jose or Jiba or someone in a couple of weeks now.
I'm definitely getting you the shirt that I wanted that says jiu-jitsu's gay.
Yeah,
No.
it's kind of, a little bit.
I mean, barely.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kissing anybody, but you're hugged up.
Yeah, I kind of want that shirt though.
And it's also I had a good little routine with my hurt arm, but I could still, take on anyone in the morning class and just do whatever I wanted,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. I felt like the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the room.
Yeah.
It just I probably needed a different room.
Yeah. Probably so.
Oh, well. All right. So that was anything else on AI, anything you're working on, anything you're going to try to be using in the future?
Yeah, I'm working on content right now as far as for social. I've not found a good way yet to do that. So I'm
heard
kind of
there's an
solving
app
a problem
coming
there.
out.
There's an app.
Yeah.
But if I were going to use something, I have played around with an app called Koala.
I've heard of that.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm continuing, and I will for the next. I mean, I don't know. I don't see not using it, but I tell you what, I've started using ChatGPT instead of a Google search.
Well, sure, it's going to. That's why why Google is desperately incorporating Gemini into their Google search. So if you notice now when you go to Google, Gemini pops up.
It pops up, but it still has all the other stuff. And I'm like, I don't need 5 pages of crap for me to sort through. And the first page, at least the first half of it, is sponsored.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
What I need are what are the top 3 stem cell institutes that I can access through the U.S.,
Yes.
And
so now you just gave everyone note in what you're looking to do.
Oh, well, that was one example. But like, speaking of, it's CPI. You fly into San Diego, then they drive you down to Tijuana, and that's where it's all like you're there for 3 or 4 days. They got Clint from the gym.
I love a retreat.
I love a retreat too. So I will be booking that sometime around May to make sure that this shoulder is perfectly fine.
That'll be great.
That guy Clint from the gym, a jiu-jitsu guy, white belt, I think, comes at night. He had some discs that were bad in his neck, like lower neck, upper back. And he went to that place and he said, man, it was the nicest place I've ever been to in my life. And they treat you super well. They pump you full of peptides to kind of detoxify your body or whatever. Then they give you your stem cells. And the next day it's all like cold plunges and hot and sauna and whatnot. Or maybe that's the day before. I don't know. And the next day is all kinds of vitamins and stuff. And then they send you off and you had 50 million stem cells injected into the injury area. And then 6 months later, you come back out and they give you another 5 million stem cells, not in the injury, but just like basic full body kind of thing to kind of just clean up anything else. I was like, man, that's a hell of a deal. That's the best. That's the best place I'd seen.
It sounds like we need to take an overlap corporate retreat.
Yeah, I wish they would just sponsor us to go do that, and then we can talk about it. So I'll send them that. I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, no problem.
But I really feel like I probably need 5 million stem cells just naturally, not
50
in the
million.
50 million.
50 million. Yeah. So that's like that's like half an umbilical cord, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need
They're
that.
throwing those things away.
Yeah.
Let me have that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, and then we'll look 5 years younger.
That's right. I doubt it. I don't think it puts pigment back in our beards.
Well, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll, I feel like this is going to be one of those episodes that we kind of keep coming back to. There's some of those graphs that we're just going to kind of keep having conversations like this with the audience to kind of just tell you how we are interacting with AI and what we're using. In the meantime, man, hit us up and tell us what you guys are doing, or ask questions, or give us, maybe have us ask us to cover something else, and we will certainly do that on any subject, but regarding AI.
And, go in the comments on social and that kind of stuff, and tell us how you're using it.
Yep.
We may be missing some tools we need to know about.
Yeah, like koala.
That's it.
All right. We'll see you later.
Peace.